Welcome back to SaharaTV. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. This is our continuation of the post-election discuss. As we promised you, we promised that we are bringing you Malam Garba Shehu, the media director of the Buhari campaign. And he's joining us from Lagos, where he is at the Guild of Nigerian Editors meeting. Malam Shehu, welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you, Rudolph. Thank you, viewers.
Okay. So a lot of viewers are interested in what's going on now, the transition from the outgoing administration of Jonathan to the incoming government of Buhari. How is it going?
Okay. Well, I think so far so good. Yes, for us, there has lately been there's a lot of pressure coming from Nigerians who wish to see us doing more than we probably are currently doing. Nigerians who obviously don't have the knowledge of the fact that in this handover situation, the outgoing government would obviously have to be ready with all of the documents that they wish to present, they wish to put on the table, so that we can talk about them. So even if we have appointed a committee earlier than now, into the transition process, they will not be doing anything unless the government side, that is the outgoing government, they are ready with all of the papers and they bring them to the table. That is when serious business will begin. So as it is at the moment, we believe they are putting together all of their papers, and that we are waiting. Happily, obviously, one newspaper, this day newspaper, scooped the information on the composition of the Buhari or Shibanjo, transition committee team, which I would say that is absolutely correct. And so therefore, we are ready for business. That is for our own part.
So the people on that list, you said that's accurate list. Are you satisfied with everybody, the names of the people on the list?
Who am I to say I'm not satisfied? This is a list sanctioned by party and the president-elect, and this is the vice president-elect. So therefore, this is the leadership. And I believe that they have made the best choices given the situation we're dealing with.
Now, what happens next? For viewers, you said that they have to now wait for the president's team to come up with their notes, handing over notes, and then your own team will look at them.
Exactly.
And then what happens? With the Nigerians, will Nigerians know the content of what transpired?
Well, we believe that all of these people that are, and there will be a lot more other subcommittees that would be named in the coming days. I believe the president-elect is considering all of that. Now, by the time all of this, there will be a lot of work that is going on. Are we going to have television cameras watching and reporting live 24 hours of the day? I'm not sure that is likely going to be the case. Obviously, I mean, around every government business, there is some measure of secrecy. But I believe that as much as possible, President Buhari will run an open system of administration. And I believe that Nigerians would get to know eventually what is there that is being put on the table.
Now, in that This Day report, they made reference to Bola Tinubu and the role he played in shaping this committee. Is that accurate too?
Well, Bola Tinubu is a leader of our party and is a leader and contributor to the success of the team that emerged as leaders. Obviously, people would influence these things. Is this day correct in what they said? I'm not confirming or denying what this day has said in that regard. What I'm saying is that Bola Tinubu and all of them, as our leaders, they're perfectly entitled, to play and to have the role of an influence
now
over all that is unfolding in the country.
Okay. Now, people are interested in what happens because, for instance, today, in today's newspaper, there was a report that the oil marketers are threatening that they will not continue to import fuel into the country because they are owed 395 billion naira. Your team, are you worried about what you might see when you get these handover notes, in terms of the actual state of things in the country?
obviously we must be worried because our expectation is that this process of handover will be seamless, and that nobody should put a bomb under your bed, that kind of thing. So we're looking very keenly at the fuel supply situation. It is still unresolved. Obviously, the power situation, you can see electricity is not as good as probably it was a month or two back. And all of these elements, including, I believe that the leadership of the party is looking at all of these things, and in the next, few hours or a day or two, some pronouncement will be made by the leadership on the need, obviously, for governance to go on up to the last day, and for there to be no bomb that would be on the way to a successful transition and handover.
Now, let me ask you, because some states, governors, they've not been able to pay their workers for months. And yes, when your administration gets in there, nobody will remember that this started long time ago. Are you people thinking about what to do to resolve these issues as part of the transition to the new government?
Well, obviously, APC is ready to govern, is ready to take over power, not only at the center, but at the states. So we have given manifesto which clearly spells out the role of government in all of these things. Now, one thing that we have promised is that we have promised good governance, a very responsible administration at all levels. And that is not going to be compromised. So the sense many people have, again, unless you open the books, the handover is carried through to the end. You probably would be merely speculating on what is the actual situation of things as to finances and all of that. Now, we hope, with all sincerity, that these situations have not arisen out of misgovernance by some of these governors.
Now, the other day, the president, Jonathan, met with President-elect Buhari in Asarok. I know that the media was not in there. What did they discuss?
You can't say everything that two presidents sit down to discuss, obviously. However, it bodes well for the country that the outgoing president and the incoming president are in some form of communication. It is very important for that they keep talking. Assumptions that they would have been like islands onto each other, I think, have been dispelled by this. It's healthy for the country, and I think that they are likely going to see more and more of this.
Now, we're also seeing more and more of speculations on social media on things like the list of potential ministers or ministers. I know that there's no official names out there, but when you see all these lists out there, what is your reaction to that?
Well, it's to say that there is a yearning for information. Unfortunately, it's not being met as adequately as it should have been. Certainly, those names that we are reading are outlandish. One or two names that I have read actually of men who are nursing very critical health situation, perhaps in hospital or barely out of hospital and that kind of thing. So I think that people are just throwing in names in order that the curiosity of the public is in a way met. Unfortunately, using information that is utterly false.
Now, one of the names out there is your name. It's being thrown out there as a potential minister. Will you be able to tell us something that about that?
Let me tell you, as I look at what we have, only two persons have a job in this incoming administration: President Buhari and Vice President Oshimbanjo. Besides these two, nobody has a job in the new government. everyone would like to be minister, but let me tell you, I'm a modest person. I'm setting my sights very, very low, and I am not having any expectations as far as these things are concerned.
But we are going to see you around Buhari in the coming years.
If it pleases the president, if it pleases him, yes.
Okay. Now, talking about the inauguration, what are the plans? Is it going to be different from what happened when Jonathan took over in 2011? Is there any difference in the plans?
Well, you know, they have just set up a joint committee. You know, the two sides have just put up a joint committee. I don't have insights into what they will be doing, but I assure you that things have moved on from then to now. I believe that this inauguration will be more high-tech than what you had seen before. It's going to take full advantage of live streaming and the online communication platforms. This is not something we had seen in the past.
All right, Malam Shehu, Garba Shehu, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rudolph. I appreciate it.
Okay. That has been the media director of Buhari campaign, Malam Garba Shehu, who joined us from Lagos. When we come back, we will continue our conversation on the plight of migrants, African migrants across Africa and all the way to Europe. So stay tuned.